Hey, how y'all doing today? I'm Anthony. This is Palmetto Prepared. Today we're back in the kitchen, obviously, and we're going to get back into home-style cooking. This one we're going to be doing biscuits, more specifically buttermilk biscuits. Now I know that you can easily go out and buy the little pop can, but if you ever look at the back of the pop can, there's about 25 ingredients that go into that thing. Now, it works in a pinch, but in my opinion, biscuits should only be like 5 ingredients, so I don't know why they have 25 or how that's even possible. So I'm going to show you a better, healthier, easier alternative if you want to make some homemade biscuits for your family. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? First things first, you want to take 2 cups of all-purpose flour and put it in a bowl. Next, you want to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Tablespoon, not teaspoon. Now 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of sugar. You don't have to add sugar, I just like sugar in my biscuits. And a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And then you just whisk it all together. Now you take 1 stick of butter, cut it into small little cubes, and toss it in there. Now you just take a fork and your knife and you start slowly cutting in the butter. Now you can use a pastry cutter if you have one. I have one, but I'm sure a lot of people don't. So I want to show the way to do it without using a pastry cutter. Just like this. I apologize if the noise bothers you. But basically the less you can touch it, the better. So. And add 1 cup of buttermilk. Then stir it all together. The less stirring the better, but just so you can get everything incorporated together. Now you want to just put it onto a floured surface. And put it all together. All right, now you're going to want to roll it out. Not too thin. Now you can either use a biscuit cutter if you have one, or I use a glass. This is a stainless steel one and it works out really well because it's got a pretty knurled edge here. So all I got to do is just bam, and toss it on a cookie sheet or baking sheet with parchment paper. Okay, now that you got them all laid out on your parchment paper, they go in the oven for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees, preheated. Make sure it's preheated, and check on them at about 13 minutes to make sure they're not getting too brown. All right, just pulled them out of the oven, threw them on a plate the way I can make a nice little showpiece for y'all. This is one of those recipes that's super easy. It took me 25 minutes with filming. If I wasn't filming, I could have got everything mixed together, flattened out, put on the pan in 5 minutes, and then obviously 15 minutes bake time, good to go. It's just like having a can, but without having to, with having to clean a bowl on the counter. Not really a big deal. One thing I wanted to add here though is don't try to double this recipe. If you double the recipe, the biscuits get really heavy and they don't taste right. So if you're going to make more than just what I have here, then obviously just make two separate batches. Now another thing is, as you can see, these aren't very thick. I like numerous biscuits because I like to add them as a side to something. If you want to make a thicker biscuit, say you want to make egg sandwich or egg biscuits, egg and cheese biscuits, then obviously keep the dough a little bit thicker and it'll rise to about like here and you'll get some pretty thick biscuits. Regardless, it's a really great recipe. I'd love to see anyone try it. If you learned something from this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you here as a subscriber, and share the video if you think anyone who may like to make their own homemade biscuits. I'll catch y'all later, okay? Bye.